Welcome back. Welcome back. We're here with Tina, Haun, and Jim Turnbo. And Tina is going to talk to us about tree beautification. And then when it's Jim's turn, he's going to talk to us about the North Fork Dam Watershed Project. And since I have the tree folder in my lap already, Tina, why don't you start out letting us know about the tree beautification project?
This is an annual thing that we do every year at this time.
Okay, now who's we? Because I didn't introduce that.
The Baxter County Conservation
Thank you,
District.
Baxter County Conservation District. Okay.
We do this every year, annually. And what we do is it's a service, basically, but we do make a little bit of money off of it to help the district stay in business. This year I've tried to pick a little bit of everything that I think maybe someone out there might like. There's actually 17 different trees and bushes on this catalog here that I've made up. All you need to do is either call the office or and I can email the catalog to you, or you can come into the office and pick the catalog up, and it shows a picture, gives a little bit of description, gets pricing and everything like that. And
now, is this available on the website? They could look at it, or they need to...
Yes, you can. So we have a website.
Okay, so you could scroll through the trees on the website.
Yes, you can. I have it where you can scroll through it. So our website is just baxtercountycd.com. And that'll take you to our Baxter County website, and you can look up all kinds of things that tells about our projects and all sorts of different information there. And I also put blogs on there for people who might want to mulch or landscape their yard, put a pond in their backyard with a waterfall and so forth. So those are different things that I put in there.
Now, if someone wants to buy the trees, I purchase them, you order them, and I come pick them up from you.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
But then they're ready to plant in the ground.
Yes, they're in pots.
In pots, okay.
Soil in pots. They're 2-year-old trees. Usually depend on what the tree is. Like the dogwoods are probably not going to be very tall. They'll be about 4 feet. The bread buds usually come a lot taller, about 5'8", so forth. But depending on how fast that tree grows is going to depend on how tall it's going to be when you get it. But they're going to be 2-year-old trees. Okay,
so someone can handle it without having any kind of professional help.
Yes, but we're there to help. And the guys at the office have been great. They're always there to help, to carry them in, load them up, and so forth.
Yeah, and you did mention that you've selected some trees that might be a little more drought resistant.
Yes,
because we have had some issues with.
There's a little bit
not your trees, not so much my trees. Trees,
right? Exactly.
Time right
it's
now.
not these are always been hardy trees. Ever since I've been at the Baxter County Conservation District and we've done this, the trees are always in there hardy. But you just can't help it. The weather conditions are just something that's not. Always controllable, and if you're not out there babying these trees for the first 2 years, they're not going to make it.
The root system doesn't
They need
develop.
to get that solid foundation.
I wanted to ask how one would know what would be the right tree for their yard, or...
Well, actually, these are all for this area.
Okay.
So it's not getting a tree that's not going to grow because we don't have the type of conditions.
I don't understand it a whole lot.
He's not a tree person.
I'm not a tree person, but I'm very interested, and so I'm wondering, can you offer assistance in maybe what would be easier to take care of, or
the best shade tree, or one I've got a small yard, so I need a tree, but I don't need a tree that's very big.
Or something that requires low maintenance.
Yeah, low maintenance.
And actually, there's a little bit of something for everybody like that.
Okay.
That's why I really, really tried really hard to find trees that were going to be beautiful flowering. The bushes are going to flower. They're going to be fragrant. And also, too, there's going to be a lot of these trees that are going to have a fall color to them, so you're going to see something in your yard all the time. But there's also going to be some that are more drought tolerant, easier to grow. Some are going to be taller for the shade, and then some are going to be where you just want a little spot, you want a little smaller tree in there. So hopefully there's something for everybody, and that's why I've also chose bushes.
Okay, so when we order them, how long? When do we order them by? What are your deadlines?
My maximum time is the 13th because I must turn the order in on the 14th of March.
Okay, so 13th of March is the deadline, and when will the trees be available?
The first week in April, and I have everybody help me out. And as soon as that shipment comes in, the semi truck comes in, we call everybody so that everybody has a chance to hurry up and get in, pick your trees up, pay for them, and then get them in the ground.
So you don't pay for them; you actually pick them up.
Not until you pick them up.
Okay, so you don't have to pre-pay.
And your catalog is online?
It's on the tree. Well, it's not exactly look like it's online, but the trees,
the trees
whole description of them. The trees will be on there and everything.
Where do I find that?
Go www.baxtercountycd.com, and that will take us right to the website, Baxter County Conservation District website.
All right.
You'll also, if you scroll around in there, you'll find our phone number. If you don't know it, I can give it to you right now, but our number is 425-3527, extension 3. That'll take you right to my desk. And if you want, I can email you this catalog and the order form on the very back right here. And that way you can just take your time, look at it, and then make your decisions, or you can come in to the office.
It looks like the trees are all priced between $15 and $20, so they're very reasonable.
Yes, they are.
A very reasonable.
I try to make them reasonable where everybody can afford them. The only thing I've got the most expensive is the sugar maple. Actually, this nursery I get the stuff from, everybody is wanting to replace things that have died over the drought, and this is the only maple I could get a hold of. But this is why it's so high, is because it's an older tree. It's not a 2-year-old tree, and it's going to be larger. It's going to be, I think it's between 3 and 4 years old, so that's why the price is a little bit higher.
It's still just $25,
right? Exactly, and they do grow a lot faster.
That's something that's going to, be beautiful forever.
Right.
I mean, that's really going to enhance
a yard or a landscape, depending on how much area you have to cover in your yard.
There's nothing like driving by a house and seeing some nice, beautiful colors. I love it.
And this has got something for everybody. And what's really great is the bushes, all of them have a different kind of flower to them, and they all have a fragrance to them that the hummingbirds, the honeybees like, and then the butterflies. So you're going to see something out there. You're feeding on these flowers all summer long.
Oh, how nice. Well, this buddy, you do this every year. So some people should be fairly familiar with it.
And there's something extra, too, if I might say something really quick. Something that also I have added is really great is the red dozier dogwood. And we also have it in yellow in the very back page of this. These are bushes, and they spread on their own. But what is really exceptional is not only do they put a flower out in the springtime, but they have colored branches. So
in the
red dozier.
So this is what it looks like in the snow, obviously.
So even when winter gets here and when it's all blah and everything is like,
you still have a splash of color.
You have a splash of color, and you can either just get
dark
all red,
blood red bark,
or you can get the red and yellow, and you can kind of design and help landscape your yard.
Yeah, well,
I saw you have the tulip tree too. I've got 2 of those in my front yard.
Those are great trees, and they're very popular too.
Yeah,
those and the red bud and
the birds love them too.
Yes.
All right, so if anybody wants some trees, they have to order them by the 13th.
Yes, ma'am.
And then they'll be in the 1st of April.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Okay, well, Jim, you tell us about the North Fork Dam Watershed Project.
Well, what the North Fork Dam Watershed Project is, the Baxter County Conservation District had the opportunity to get involved in a 319 project, which is funded through the Clean Water Act. And it's administered, the funds come through the EPA and the Arkansas Natural Resources Commission. And what we do is basically they want to be involved in trying to maintain the water quality of basically North Fork Lake, which is the North Fork watershed. And it's a rather large area. It's approximately 170,000 acres that flow into that area. It's a very important area. Tourism for this area, all of our water supplies come, or a great deal of our water supplies come to the North Fork area. So keeping that water system pure and clean is that most important. And so the Conservation District thought that'd be a good project to get involved with. They got some funding through this grant. We have they purchased more equipment that landowners can use. Part of the things they wanted to do were instill what's called best management practices on property, which would be reestablishing forages with all the drought. We've had you talking about losing trees. Been a lot of grasses and things like that have died. We have, if you ever go by the fairgrounds, you'll see those 2 big yellow machines out there. Well, those are no-till drills, and we acquired one of those through this process, and that helps the landowner to establish seed beds without plowing up the ground. So you're not disturbing a lot of the ground, because if you disturb it, then it causes problems down the road. So they did that. We also have sprayers to help get away with brush and weeds, because if you have a brush problem, a weed problem, then your better forages can't grow, and you lose your ground cover. So you lose your ground cover, you have erosion, things like that, washes into the streams, washes on down to the lake, increases the turbidity, things like that. This program was initiated a lot because the lake couldn't hold oxygen quite as well as they thought it could. That's one reason why we qualified for this. And if we can get more a riparian area around streams, more vegetation around them, then it kind of cools the water down. Going in a cooler water system lets it hold water better. I mean, lets it hold oxygen better, excuse me.
Okay.
So
how difficult is it to track down a culprit if someone is like putting something on their fields and it's getting into the water system? How complicated is that to trace back to the source?
Oh, you just have to see it. A lot of this goes with non-source pollution, where you've got companies that dump it directly. Well, then you have other. I'm not talking specifically about this area, but that's what I'm talking about. You have other things that wash, like you put too much on your fields or something like that. It's just what you would have to see, someone out there noticing something out of the ordinary or something.
But other than that, you couldn't really trace back where it was.
It would be really hard to do that. You could, if you were concerned, you could contact some people and say, we think there's a problem, and go out there and maybe check this out. But we have these best management practices. There is some cost share that was available to go through this to help people implement these processes.
What about people who've lost? I know my uncle owns a lot of land along Crooked Creek, and he's lost, literally land that's just, when we had a couple of floods, it's just fallen off and washed down. You have programs for that to help restore some beds?
The problem with that is on the program we have, that's a very, very costly endeavor to get into. I've been involved in a couple of these things where they're trying to restore stream banks.
So it doesn't just completely erode away. Yeah.
They can do it. There are programs out there that they can work with on it. The help's out there. If you want to just come in and talk to people about it, the help's out there. If we can get it, we're always ready to go out and give advice to help people. We were out this morning on the farms looking at some programs they were putting in.
But you're more preventative. You're helping farmers get more vegetation, get some root systems along those shorelines so that we don't lose anything else, because what goes in the creek goes in the river, goes in the lake.
Right.
Exactly.
It's terrible. I read the book the other day about the Dust Bowl. And we just don't want to ever get in a situation like that again.
Yeah, a lot of that was just lack of practice.
Right.
It was exacerbated this situation.
And we have to deal with our lake levels going up and down. It was so high this last time that I noticed there was a lot of organic material that dissolved in the lake, and it caused the lake water looks dirty. Yeah. But it's mostly just a lot of mulch and stuff that has been seeping down from the high water levels as they recede.
Oh, it washes down right. It's a problem that needs to be addressed. We had an opportunity to get this with the Conservation District, so we did it. And that's what we're trying to do with this program.
Okay, so they should call the Conservation District. Excuse me?
It's the same number.
Same number, okay.
Oh, okay.
And you can also look it up then at the www. Baxter County CD. Okay. So anyone interested in like a reseeding project, things like that would all, but they can come in with their questions and you'll say, okay, you qualify for the help with this program, or if not, maybe you can point them in another direction.
Yes, ma'am. There's some other programs out there.
We also have that.
Yes, we're having a field day on the 26th of March. We're going to talk about the program there, and maybe talk about some brush management, reseeding practices, and things like that at the fairgrounds.
Okay, is that free to the public?
Yes.
At what time does it start on the 26th?
Tentatively about 6. That's what we're planning on.
6 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
6 p.m. Okay. What day of the week's the 26th?
On Tuesday, I believe.
On a Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Okay, well, we thank you very much. And the trees, these are a big hit. I don't know if we had any trees scroll by, but we've got some really, Tina has some beautiful, beautiful trees. You need to order those by the 13th, and then she'll have them to you by the 1st of April. And if you have any questions about soil conservation along your water banks, make sure you call the Conservation District, and they'll give you some information. And Bob and I have got one more guest to talk to, and then we've got the cooking segment, so don't go away, because Joanna Baxter is here to talk about a benefit for Tim Phillips and probably give us an update on what Tim's condition is. So stay tuned.